Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. My mom treats my siblings like angels. For context, the people are me, my mom, my dad and my 4 siblings. FYI, my mom and dad are not together. Anyways, so my mom has always favorited my brother because they always believe her, but I see right through her bullshit and lies, and the finale straw came when she said my dad got in trouble drugs, which I looked up and wasn't true, but my siblings believed her shit, and when I told my dad, he brought it to light about how horrible my mother was. He had always disliked her, but he was always quiet about it, but anyway he came out about how much of a bitch she was, and then I called my mom and I told her knew she was lying, and she got all emotional, and now my brother is mad at me. Am I the asshole? Please be true. Story 2. Mom upset I, M19, wanted to see the doctor alone. Last year when I was 18, I had my physical at the doctor's office. My mom invited herself in the room, and I didn't really question it because I was freshly 18 and wasn't told that I have more rights than I did before. It was a nightmare, with her making my checkup more about her. It was embarrassing in some aspects, having your mom be in the room for the sexually active questions and other things of that nature. She also invited herself in the room for my blood results when it was revealed that I was anemic. That week she playfully spilled the news to my extended family over dinner, like it was a joke or a funny story. This made me super uncomfortable. I had a talk with her in private after the fact about it, where she said she was sorry and understood why she was wrong. Even with that, she continues to tell out other parts of my business and tries to pry as much as possible. About a year later, now, I was due for my yearly physical again. I went with my 27-year-old sister, we'll call her Jessica for now, who I was running errands with. While I was waiting for the doctor to enter my room, Jessica walks in, saying that my mom called and forcefully told her to get in the room with me. I was fine having company while I waited, but as soon as the doctor entered I requested that Jessica left. Jessica is a nurse, well versed on HIPAA, and completely understood where I was coming from. The issue came when I got back home, and my mom found out that I had seen the doctor by myself. She asked why I kicked Jessica out, and I told her that whatever happened in there was between my doctor and I, and no one else. She scoffed and quickly hung up the phone. She was at work. Now I'm sitting around wondering if I did anything wrong, but I know for a fact that I didn't. For more context, I have some bumps/cysts in my nether region that my religious family would swear were STDs if they heard about them. To avoid that, I've been silent about it for years, potentially risking my health by ignoring a looming issue. Now that I'm able to see the doctor alone, I can figure out what they are and what to do about them. TLDR, last year, Mom invites herself into an adult's doctor's appointment, shares my health problems to friends and family. This year, Mom got upset that I didn't want my sister in the room while I was talking about my junk. Edit/update, thank you all for your support and words of wisdom. I will be looking into hidradenitis suppurativa as many of you have suggested, which would make sense. BC I've had skin issues related to hair follicles. As for my mom, I confronted her as for why she would demand her daughter to go into my room without my approval. She responded, Jessica's a nurse, she needs to observe what it's like to be in an clinic environment. Jessica works in a group home and my mom disapproves. I told my mom that I'm not sacrificing my privacy for someone who already has their bachelor's degree. I also made a mental note in my head for the fact that none of the workers in the office asked me if I was okay to send someone into my room. As for other steps in distancing myself, I'm not too worried. My mom can barely turn her phone's flashlight on, I doubt she can navigate a patient portal online. I return to college within the week, so I'll have all the distance I need. Story 3. Entitled Dad Tells Me You'll Never Be a Real Boy. I, 18, transgender male, was with my friend, we'll call her B. B and I have been friends for around a year now, and I've been to her, now old, house a couple times. One time I was visiting her and we were on her porch doing normal teen stuff when her neighbor, 40, also transgender male, comes out and starts talking to us. A normal conversation starts, then he brings up that he's trans. I tell him I honestly couldn't tell and that I'm also trans. A couple minutes go by and I bring up that I'm starting testosterone soon. Ed says, well, don't. I ask why and he says you'll never be a real boy, so why put male hormones in your body? I reply with, who are you to tell me what to do with my body? Didn't you get top surgery? Why get your breasts removed if you're a woman? He insults me, mocking me for wearing headphones. I'm autistic and never leave the house without headphones. B has 5 brothers so her house gets loud. I break down sobbing and call my dad. I tell him what happened and we notice Ed still on his deck. My dad honks and says, have a nice night, ma'am. Story 4. Adopted parents want to take my baby, help. So a lot of backstory for a long story. I, 16F, got adopted kinda when I was 2 but still had contact with my bio mother. I was only put into custody of my adopted father, let's call him Adam. Adam got married when I was 5 ish to Jessica, not her real name, and a few years later they had a brutal miscarriage. So during COVID, I was 13 I think, I moved in with my biological mom because Jessica just didn't want me or my brother there. Flash forward to now, I'm 16 and 36W pregnant. In March I was supposed to move back in with adopted parents but changed my mind because my partner and I sat down with my mom and his family and we decided I would stay with his family for a little bit while everything cooled down. I made a post about what happened. Here's where the weird shit happens. Me and my boyfriend moved in with my mom because she had space and wanted us there. The other day my mom offhandedly says Jessica returned everything baby related at their house because they didn't get their baby. I asked what that meant and she said when you were going to move in with them they went out and bought a crib, diapers, clothes, other necessities like that for a baby, and when you decided to not go she got upset and threw a fit because she didn't get her baby. It was later confirmed by Jessica's best friend that she thought she was going to get custody of my baby to raise as her own. Zero clue what made her think that. And now that I'm getting closer to my due date I don't know how to cut them off. I don't know how to tell them to back off. I will call the police if they come anywhere near my daughter because they are the type to hold her and run. They live 3 hours away. Can anyone offer advice or anything? I'm confused and honestly scared. Other info: Adam and my bio mom were married at one point and had my brother. Jessica and Adam are Christian but they cheat on each other. And Sully abused me growing up, like when I was dating a girl she threatened to follow me around school for the rest of my time in school, 6 years, or pull me to be homeschooled and secluded from people. And after I moved it was fine to be gay for her kids, a boy and girl. They took mine and my brother's inheritance from 2 family members and lied to us about it. Edit, a few other things. We think they just wanted to use me as a surrogate of sorts. Also they went out and bought stuff when I said I was thinking about moving back with them and bought everything less than an hour after and gaslit me and me boyfriend for days. Story 5. I'm unsure about how my mum treats me and needs advice. So I'm going to go into my backstory. My current mum is my step-mum. My mum before was a narcissist and was a horrid person. She hit and abused me and my dad, but it's over now and I don't want to go into too much detail. My mum now, met me when I was 4. When I was younger she used to slap me and I remember as a kid screaming at the top of my lungs if she ever did something that upset me. I used to kick her and tell her to go away, and when I told her to go away she refused to acknowledge my existence till I said sorry no matter the circumstances. I was 4 to 6 years old. Now I am 16 and she stopped slapping me when I was 12. But it hasn't gotten much better. I'll explain today what has happened. She woke me up at 8:50 a.m. to clean my room because it was disgusting, her words. Which is fair, it was messy so I was cleaning but I had to stop because I struggle to concentrate and cleaning my room is very difficult to do, and usually I live in my room for about 3 days till it's done because otherwise if I went downstairs she would get mad at me and ask if I have cleaned it yet. This isn't a problem for me, but the dog ended up yelping really loud so I shouted down if he was okay. She replied angrily and screaming what? In a rude tone, so I didn't say anything else, I just went into my room. Later on I had my headphones in to try help make me concentrate getting my room finished because I was getting distracted again, and I do this thing if I'm bored or nervous where I pick my arms and face, so to not give in, I use music to help. But I didn't hear her call me, so she came into my room and said I called you twice, so I replied, for what? Because I didn't hear her and wanted to know what she wanted, and she gave me a disgusted look, looked me up and down and said, "Don't speak to me like shit." I immediately was confused and asked again what she wanted because I didn't know what I have done. After she stormed into her room and shut the door, she came back out again and said that I spoke to her rudely, to which I replied, "I didn't mean to. I had my headphones in so I can't hear you well, plus you spoke to me rudely earlier, so why are you upset?" She didn't take this well and said, "Because I have been fucking doing all of your jobs that you and your dad can't be bothered to do when you were having a nice little lie-in." She tilted her head side to side when she said nice little lie-in, to which she made it sound like waking up at 8:50 was a crime, lol. I didn't know I had to do those jobs yet since she didn't tell me to do them, and she replied, "I shouldn't have to tell you, you should have heard me hoovering and come down, and even after all of that I still brought you a jam donut, which is what I was calling you down for." She also said I said, "What do you want?" I didn't. I asked why. She called and said, "What for?" These small arguments happen all the time, and sometimes she will call me manipulative and selfish, or that I'm a bitch. I've asked her not to call me that and she said no, she says them because they are true and that I am woke. She has also said, "You are 16 now, I had 2 jobs at your age," and threatened to kick me out. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't like me because I'm not her real daughter, and I've cried over these situations many times. I want to leave, but she says that I will get r***ped and killed if I leave, by men on the streets. So I feel like I can't run away or leave even though she says it's her house and she will kick me out. I just need advice on what to do because I'm at my limits. I'm trying to get started with 6th form, but she makes it impossible to concentrate sometimes. Story 6. If this belongs here exactly, but it's something along the lines of the sub. When I was about 4, I was opening Christmas presents with a knife. Unsupervised, mind you. My mama was in the kitchen, cooking, and my blind grandma was in the living room. She is 100% blind, therefore cannot see what I am doing. The present I was opening had been sealed with a zip tie, and I was cutting through the zip tie facing up towards my face. When I broke through it, I lost control of the knife, which flew up to my left eye, permanently binding me. We went to the hospital almost an hour or 2 later, and the doctor said I needed to wear glasses for the rest of my life. Mama didn't abide by this and told me not to wear them, leading to my vision worsening. Now I wear them every day now that I no longer live with her. She didn't make me wear my glasses because she didn't think the knife had reached my eyeball and only my face. When in reality, the knife had reached my face, leaked some of the aqueous humor, the fluid in your eyes, leading to misshapen eyeball and blindness. I can no longer wear contacts in my left eye due to the shape. Please tell me which sub this belongs to if this one isn't correct. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.